It looks like we're going to have a lot of action on A main. We're kicking things off here in the pistol between Gen.G and Envy, and it looks like it's going to start off with a fast-paced Riv.
Frenzies abound here as well for both teams. A few other purchases, a little bit more detail. Classic for GMD. Food and Sean going to trade the first few, as it looks like they are going to test out A and see how they can weather this storm to start off.
Yeah, quick exchange, 1-for-1. Definitely, I think both teams are okay with this. And we can see that catwalk control has been taken by Envy because they realize, okay, there's not a fast movement through A main to the A site. Let's try to figure out what's going on. We're expecting there could be a rotation. And indeed, we're getting an A split getting set up. Oh, Food, but the timing on that flash is beautiful. And they're going to take down both Gen.G catwalk players, leaving pretty much nothing to go with. There's nothing in the tank, just Sean and Michael, and they're forced to go into the A site.
They come as a combo, they work as a duo. Beautifully played there by Food and Crashies. And now we'll see pressure onto the site. Envy looking to possibly allow the post plant here without too much to say about it. And now they'll try to get in. Food on one side, the pinch from FNS as well. And Envy will find round number 1 on Ascent.
I love that from Envy just because, you know, we saw from that catwalk play, Envy were just a step ahead in that sense. They already knew, based on what happened just previously on A main, what the next move had to be for Gen.G. And Gen.G weren't ready to anticipate that Envy would be like reading the game in that sense and perhaps already expecting what they would be doing. If so, they would have waited in mid for a little bit. They had time to do it, but they didn't have the expectations. So Envy already, you know, one step ahead of the game. They're going to pick up the pistol, which will force an eco here for Gen.G.
I got you, bro.
I like the rework back there onto the A site. Just kind of playing around with how Gen.G might rotate it out and they get a little free space there. Seeing what they'll do for second round, everything towards that B site. It looks like there's quite a bit of util here used on the econ. They want to know what's going down, or not the econ, sorry, for Gen.G side, but they want to know where everyone could be pushing from the side of Gen.G. Already towards mid as FNS is ready.
Yeah, Gen.G definitely, from what we see, a team that likes these B splits, especially on some of these eco rounds. A lot happening though. We can see Food having that push to mid, and just great angles, and nowhere to go really for Envy. They're completely crunched, and well, flawless round from Envy. Exactly how you want an anti-eco to be, and 2-0, but it's straight into the gun rounds. The action is kicking off here quickly, on a sense.
Okay, Food. It's cool. You have run it back third round. We see you. 6-0 too. Not even letting Mame and Caboose find any of the fun. Well, Caboose has an assist in there. But yeah, quick rounds there, and Envy wanted to make those expected after the pistol round. You should be able to get in there quick. Great job by Gen.G of trying to close some angles and get that work done, but it didn't work. Now for the first gun round, Dan. It looks like they're going to spread this out for a default to start things off.
Yeah, we actually don't see any focus at all around A main for either team here. One thing to bear in mind is that Envy is still carrying through some of those Spectres, so it is, you know, what we call that, you know, that bonus rounds where they have a lot of money to fall by next round, even if they lose this one. So you would expect them to try to take fights, not necessarily want to play the retakes, but try to take fights before that. And we see a setup around the tree position, so, and all the Killjoy utility is there also. So Envy definitely very strong around that spot, giving up a lot of space towards B, so they would be committing to a B retake with this opener if B is attacked, which looks like that's what Gen.G are looking for. Of course, they would have to destroy the door and mark it. Crashies is looking for information too.
It could be right after this Dark comes in if they have it. Yeah, you see the bow coming out as they get a bit of a firefight. Dark goes up into the corner, door's broken, and they're going to start hitting that site full on. A little bit of a lurk in mid by GMD, and he could do some damage, Dan.
The run it back is going to be used there by Food. Using the wall, though, to try to clear some space towards the site so they can try to help Crashies, who's still backside alive by himself. Gen.G with an effective attack so far. He's able to get through, but it's looking quite desperate right now for Gen.G. Kusa's last man standing, and who's going to take him down with, I believe, a Phantom that he just collected. That's an excellent retake. It looked very labored. I have to say, Riv, I'm actually quite shocked that Envy were able to make that work given the positioning that they had.
Yeah, the graces of having run it back on round 3 was huge there for Envy. Being able to get a second chance to make that work for themselves really made the difference. And I think the pause there that GMD also was able to put on Caboose coming back around made things difficult too.
So now, eco scenario for Gen.G. Half buy, light armor, and a couple players. The Sheriff's, the Bucky. We'll see what they're able to do. Looking to focus on A main, but we've got Food and Wine. So this is quite dangerous. The orb is going to be picked up. Food might be trying to play contact off of the contact here of his teammate Mummy in the site. Mummy will jiggle. Oh, there's a great frag, and the opportunity is there for Food to swing. Great setup, and that might just win the round just off of the back of that one play.
Yeah, that's kind of a stay and play round, right? For Gen.G. They're like, well, we're probably pinched from each side. We got 3 taken out. The confidence from Envy is just overflowing at the moment. And that's going to be a final few shots from FNS. Great hits from Kusta, though. Almost takes him down. Is going to cause the rebuy of armor. And 4-0 here for Envy. A buy coming in for Gen.G. Ultimate's up. We're going to have the lockdown. You also have Empress. We'll see if they can make that work. This you called it right before it happened. The contact play and the peek from Wine before anything else could happen. A beautiful way to play that anti-eco.
And again, you know, you mentioned it before, and we talked about it so much yesterday when Envy were playing. There's such a priority on getting those run-it-backs on Food because not only is he an amazing player, of course,
yeah,
it's just an extremely strong ultimate with that 6 charge as well, so you can get them quickly. Very impactful on a map like, well, on every map. And we'll see a lot of focus around tiles here. Mummy actually able to take down Sean in that 1v1 from Catwalk. So a 1-for-1 early typically favors the attackers. There's 2 play. Oh, it's a bait. It's a huge bait. They won't expect there to be another player, Pizza. So if they go for this mid split, which we know they love to do, it's going to be pretty dangerous here for GMD.
That was a great call on the bait. I was thinking of the 2 in Pizza. This is great. He flies out. Who's going to look to the right again? At least not right off the bat. It doesn't seem to bear any fruit at this point, and the push could be bad. GMD waiting. Oh, and he gets Food on timing. His Food looks the wrong way. That's going to be lockdown going out, and the nade kills it immediately.
3-player retake. It's going to be a tough one here. Caboose is still on the site, as is FNS, so they may not even have to give up the site. And Gen.G looking to commit here, using the Hunter's Fury. Michael looking to find his target, only gets 1 tag with it. At this point, though, Envy are desperately weak, trying to defend with very little, and it's not going to go too well for them. Spike planted just for the extra ultimate points, and Gen.G pick up their first round. And yeah, it's interesting because Food, he walked down mid and got caught by GMD, and I think he was very much expecting if it was going to be a B split, like where are the players in mid? So really nice from GMD to just be tucked away for so long.
Well, he got his answer, right? As well as Gen.G varying up kind of how they're playing things, not looking too much for Envy there, but allowing Envy to come to them. We heard Van Silly talking about Sean's interview where they found that it wasn't in their benefit to play to the other team's strategy. If they went in and played their own game as Gen.G, that's what worked out for them. That's what gave them the advantage round to round. Here, it's back to mid, but it blades out for win, so it's a little bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, and there's, I think, a lot to say. Oh my god, the shock darts are doing a lot of damage there, but it is onto Sean, so if he gets an assist or a kill, of course, he can just heal back up. And what's interesting here, you know, you mentioned the Blazer out for Win. Win is someone, he's playing the Jet. He's an amazing player. Jet's an incredibly strong agent, and this is an agent that can create lots of pressure, and it's not something that Envy's running. So this could be an X factor here for Gen.G and could work in their favor. And he's just waiting for a position to be able to strike there. As the rest of his team now start in the mid to late round, move towards that A site, he's going to be able to catch that rotation.
I mean, it's so good even to be that far up just for footsteps. You're going to get so much more information and range. Food! Oh, here's another one. He knows it's double blind coming out. Mummy is going to be able to start off with this operator, though, and that's Big Dan. He can usually shut down a round, but this is looking grim. 3v2. And we'll see if they can make their way into the site now. Mummy's looking to lock down a few shots. As you hear him coming out, the shot misses. Mummy is going to be able to get the right click classic to count.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Win So close to
10
making that
seconds
one
left.
work against Mummy. There's actually nothing Mummy can do if he hits that right click. Kusa now in an impossible situation. He's got third one, and Mummy knows it. He's able to take the peak.
Yep.
And you know, we talked about an X Factor. We talked about the dynamics with Jet. Mummy is essentially one of the answers there because he's the player that will be using the operator. His his mobility is not quite as good as a Jet. He has a TP for that, but he has proven time and again that he is instrumental and so powerful with that operator, and he doesn't ever seem to miss. So he's a very stable player, Mummy. And we can see that works out right there at the end as Envy go 5 rounds to Gen.G's 1. Gen.G not finding the same success that they found against 100 Thieves on their attack just yesterday.
They're not. It seems like they're, you know, getting whittled away a little bit in their health bars before they're actually able to make things happen. We saw that it was Sean down to about 33 HP, I believe, at the beginning of that round from a few shock darts. And we'll see a bit of a purchase coming in here. Full armor, Sheriff for Sean. Maybe Empress out once he finds something there, and he'll be following somebody around. Let's see on the minimap as he's over on the left side as they start off setting up some sentinels. So another default. Could be orb grab here to start off for Gen.G. Is now they have to really consider how they can start putting rounds in their favor.
Yeah, and we will see that.
Like that peak.
Mummy's actually changed his position there. The operator, they might not expect it. And oh, that's the power of the operator. You know, you can move it around. And when you want to peek against an operator or a rifle, it's a totally different ball game. And so if you don't expect the operator, you're in a lot of trouble. And that's going to pay off here for Envy. And Win is trying to get something back. Oh, he's going to hear the running. This could be insanely huge. He's going to dash. He gets the punish. Oh my goodness. Win gets a double. And that's going to open up the round. It was looking very difficult before that, but Win has changed everything.
When you're doing that in game, usually you just get your head blown up because you're chasing this guy. Win obviously makes it work. Creating space and getting the kill. No one saw that. And we will continue this one at 3v4 as the retake now coming in for Envy on the post. Here's the plant from Kusta, and they'll let it happen for it now. Mummy waiting for the push forward. Cat check comes in. GMD has been so strong from this position. It just feels confident to stay there and get any of the flank.
Finesse trying to creep his way out of here. Oh, he actually catches GMD. And that's something.
It's like catch somebody in ability day.
Yeah, able to get out of that. And he might be able to get an extra couple kills there because the exit through Gelato is coming through to try to save their guns. If these enemy players. Oh, FNS, he wants it. He's going to go for the second as well. Kusa will take him out, but he did do some extra damage. Couple kills, keeping the economy honest for Gen.G. And again, they haven't been winning rounds here, so they don't really have much economy just yet. And that's definitely going to be a factor. We definitely would like to see Win on that operator as much as possible, but not really all that possible just yet. But 2 rounds for Gen.G, thanks to Win's luck through A main. You can see here, he heard the steps from Sova, from Crashies, you know, using the drone for that mid-round information, and did not work out too well in their favor that time.
I mean, you got to take that window, right? What a fast and great act there from Win to capitalize. 8 ults across the board, Dan. This could be an explosive round. 3 on the side of Gen.G, 5 for Envy. They have a lot of options here as they're on a partial as well. You see some Buckies and Sheriffs are on the board, and FNS is going to make it a little bit easier for Envy in this round 8.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more focus around B main from Gen.G so far, and we'll go into that a little bit later as we do see Gen.G beginning to work towards this very fast B-split, but into the Bucky they go. Caboose is there. Oh my god, the ranges are perfect for the Bucky, and Caboose gets the trio of kills, spikes down on the ground, and once again, Win has to save it, but in much more difficult circumstances. Just trying to find some kills, and once again, Mummy looking good, and it's a flawless round, and if you look at what they had going into that round, it just... oh, it's just heartbreaking for Gen.G, and
they didn't use a single ultimate, Dan.
Yeah, that's very true. They didn't have to. It's concerning, Riv, I got to say, because we're seeing a difference in the approach from Gen.G. They aren't going really for all that much A main control. For some reason, they have decided that, you know, mid and B main is generally where they will be. That's where the weaknesses should be. But Envy don't seem to be weak in those areas at all. So far, Envy are looking like an absolute fortress.
And look at the change too, right? The Bucky push, get to an angle that's going to be a return on investment. Gen.G are having none of it. They're going to do the judge rush, throwing down the vertical. He's going to be able to get the run it back, and he goes down to a frenzy. The trade here is not the return they were looking for, Dan.
It's definitely excuse me, he wouldn't get crashes, but that's going to be that. And I don't envy Prius or Observer in saying some of these rounds, man. I don't know who you're supposed to pick to watch in these spots, but that's going to be the 7th round on the board for Envy.
Absolute, just flying in. I mean, you want to be able to test Envy as well in that situation. You're on a partial buy. Obviously, we saw the judge coming in. They're flying through, and they didn't get much out of it either. You know, Envy just has an answer for everything right now, and that's so hard to play against. You did get to run it back that round. Lockdown's still going to be able to push you out of sight. Hunter's Fury, if you are actually getting into post plant. And we got to say, Gen.G still has a few ults to work with as well. Now the Empress there and Lockdown could really open up a site if they stretch Envy thin here and kind of wait out the rounds.
Yeah, Food will he'll be pushed off of Catwalk. Well, actually, he's going to use the wall and the hot hand. So you can see that really does force the drone. And so that trade of abilities there, it feels somewhat even. The drone is extremely valuable. With that said, but Food is going to just be holding on to trees still, and we get a reset from Gen.G. A re-smoke there as well from Mummy onto that catwalk position to allow Food to hold it. It's actually a slight gap to help Food out, so I like to see that.
So they just pulled the turret back. Kusta grabbed that from B, so they're going to put it back up here for flank. The take is going to be onto A as the smokes come out. Dark cover. Crashy's just waiting. Get that default dart in to get any ticks. Win already in their face. And now that they know, they hear the running in the site. It's going to be a 5v5 retake. These are the ones you love to see.
Yeah, great positioning here around Catwalk. Oh, the crossfire. Oh, into Caboose, though. Gen.G swinging a little bit too deep. The showstopper's pulled out, and that could signal the end of the round here if it finds its targets. But Michael able to find a quick kill before the showstopper gets launched out. And it's looking like it's up to win. Once again, knives come out, and Food is just so ready for it. Able to do what he needs to do to win the round for Envy. And a defense, I mean, I've got to say, Riv, you know, whenever I think about Envy, I think about a few things. One of them is a team that's it's just rock solid on every single map, and it's the defensive side too. Like, they feel like they're one of the hardest teams to play an attack side against. They're so strong on the defense, and it seems like that's ringing true here as well.
And they're, I mean, I'm gonna say these ults for Gen.G have been there for quite a few rounds. This lockdown to even test what might Envy do from it. They've used 2 ults for the last 2 rounds to just keep taking these. I'm gonna stop talking about ults now. Let's see what they got as they go into the strats. Cover mid. That's gonna be the push coming in from Sean. Now they go back to a bit of the mid work, making sure they have any lurkers on lockdown, and they can get themselves some better info and positioning to start off a round.
Mummy looking for the kill there on to the elusive win. Here comes that drone looking for info. Taken down, though, before it really saw anything except for Sean on the Reyna. And once again, you can see how Gen.G have really switched up their approach, looking for a lot more focus around A. Don't have any control towards B, which is where Envy decided to set up at the beginning of the round. And here comes the push, the split.
Nice try there.
On the back of the split, we do have the Hunter's Fury going through Nelo's position. But it's, oh my god, Crashies with the double. Envy, they're just so difficult to deal with.
Oh, it was a great try on the Hunters. Open. Food in there. Caboose now getting the work done with 2. His win is left alone. He's full up. Double up draft. But he is against
30 seconds left.
A lot of health right now, combined with 3 members of the side of Envy.
Oh my god.
Oh no. This is what you get to do when you have an excess of ults, Dan.
Oh, it's just, it feels so bad as it is. Like, if it wasn't difficult enough, they're just like, yeah, let's just drop the ult.
Word.
Going to the last round, we don't need that lockdown. And they know the economy is terrible for their opponents, so it's just so brilliant of them to just lock it in like that. And It's really looking like Gen.G is having a very hard time finding rounds, and Envy once again proving that it's not just that they have good setups and they're very good at reading the game.
Yep.
Individually across the board, they are just their level is just insane.
And they really haven't tested B. I wouldn't say at all. They've been there a few times, but it has just been to see if anyone's lurking out. A seems to be their comfortability, and they haven't been able to get in there. Mid worked for the first few rounds, as we kind of predicted and might see throughout the way that they play. But that's been kind of given up too, as they just feel like a few didn't go their way, and they got to change it up fully here. Still have that lockdown from Kusta. GMD with a bit of knowledge from the shadows could be a possibility as they're back to mid, they're back to pushing, and the spike's going to be there too. So this is almost committed.
Yeah, Crashy's drone through A main, so they have all information, and that allows Food to take position on Wine. So this mid-round rotation back to A, the positioning is actually very good for Envy. Having Food in the Wine position, Crashy's going to play retake. He's actually going to drop onto the site. He wants to get some challenges in, and you can't blame him when he's hitting shots like that. But there comes Food from A main, making the difference there for Envy, and GMD is the last man standing. Looking for that fake TP to see if that's going to give him anything here, as he has to jump through to find the spike, and all he's going to find is the barrel of the gun of Mummy, and that's going to be a wrap. A 10-2 first half in favor of Envy. It's not a good start at all for Gen.G.
Dan, it's the unknown that is crippling Gen.G right now. Every time they go somewhere, the unknown, where Food was that time, to take them down from Wine. A quick position doesn't have the right flank, doesn't have that right information, and they keep getting hit. That's their thorn in the side. It just seemed like they couldn't get around that. We'll see what they have for second half here. Like you said, not a great start. Pistol is imperative here for Gen.G, unless they can just put up every round after that. It's going to be tough, though. Envy is on a roll.
Definitely, and I think there's a lot to be said for the lack of a lurker on Gen.G's attack, but we'll talk more about that later on, as we'll see, as you say, this really critically important pistol. Gen.G on that defense, and they have that initial focus around B main, but as that early rush timing it goes past, we'll see them starting to spread out a little bit more, looking for information around Catwalk, but the timing from Food is just perfect. That curveball fully blinding two players. They get position towards tree. They can do whatever the hell they want towards that A site now as they pick up the frags on the way.
Awesome to see here, flying through. You'd love to see the fast pistol round strats. Gen.G trying to answer. Kusta and Sean doing a beautiful job as they retake tree. 2v1 as Food has the frenzy, and he's locked into almost under hell position. I should say heaven, but he gets himself to default boxes.
Food, he's going to be surrounded, trying to work the crate on site, but G&D takes him down. Yeah, just an amazing re-entry there. The paranoia coming through from G&D was great. Was huge. Great connections, and that's something. You know, that's something for Gen.G to maybe get some of the confidence back, get themselves a good start, of course. And the thing is, though, we don't know exactly what to expect just yet from Envy's attack in the way that they will be running the default. And I think that having Win on the Jet, if they can get an operator into his hands early on, I feel like that could really be very powerful. Sean as well is going to be extremely crucial. Just having disruption in Envy's default when they get to that on the next buy round is going to be, I think, one of the big win conditions for Gen.G.
And you can see they're just full armor into the Spectres so they can get utility. None of these Bulldog have utility buys with armor. They want to make sure that this round has they can give this round everything they offer. Door's gone already as they try to drop that. And a good push here. Gen.G trying to get a bit of info. They're going to find FNS. Kusta takes him down, and now they can start to work a little bit smarter on this round.
It looked like FNS was looking at the radar at that precise moment that peaks. His reactions were very slow, but especially as the IGL, you're definitely looking at the radar perhaps a lot more than your teammates. And that is pretty tough. You can see actually Gen.G are happy to kind of give up these close positions. They don't want to allow the numbers advantage to overwhelm them. So much easier to play retake against a team that has very limited utility. We'll see how that works for them. Spraying through the dark cover for one. And a Nano Swarm as well, slowing down the push. Not really allowing Envy entry. And Sean, he's going to charge up his ult with a couple kills. And the anti-eco is dealt with almost flawlessly, just losing Kusta, which feels quite acceptable. But now, as we mentioned, Riv, the real play begins. What is Envy's attack going to look like, and how does Gen.G respond?
You might get, where are they going? I say raise towards B, Roomba to start, info gain on whoever might be pushing through, or just nade towards cat start. Maybe they do that. And they are going to leave right now, FNS, over towards that side. It seems like they'll consistently do that to start these rounds. It's so good to recognize the early push, Tacti Bear. And they'll have a few here to start this off. It's going to be that 2-2 towards B with just roam from Crashies right now.
Yeah, and Gen.G got the A main control early on. So I'm curious to see if we'll see the round slow down after we get this initial play for map control from Envy. And they've got that presence on mid. They took B main over, and now you can see they're rotating around. And the drone comes through from Michael to see, okay, they're rotating out, they're resetting. Which direction are they going? Sees that most players are in mid, so at this point, Envy could still go either way. But to answer that, another information play. We get a forward gelato push coming in from Win. And now if they time this well, this could make a huge difference. But they are on Spectres. Again, that is going to be problematic for the range that Win's going to be playing with. Oh, he gets it though.
Spike down mid.
Took so much. Bringing the recoil down, gets it. That's going to be 2 down now on the side of Envy. Gen.G feeling good here. FNS has some good positioning. Everybody pushing out. They're trying to find him. Phantom coming up big. Almost gets him with the util out. And now they know his positioning.
Last player standing.
Big round so far from Gen.G. Spectres against Phantoms. It's a 2v1 now in favor of Gen.G. The spike is on the ground, and Mummy has to push forward. The Paranoia is going to connect. Oh my God! Make it happen for Envy. That is disgusting. The red ball clutch. Oh, that Paranoia was perfect. What a beautiful, beautiful clutch from Mummy. I thought that Gen.G had that in the bag.
Standing.
I am right there with you, and honestly, Dan, it should have been. That is a round that you win. What a play from Mummy. Anybody to do it, obviously, he comes out and makes it happen. And that's 11-4. These early rounds were huge for Gen.G to be able to get. And Envy stops the bleeding early. Like you said, what's going to happen for this first gun round? Well, it took us for a ride.
Well, the interesting thing is that at least for Gen.G, they did a lot of damage. So we got 4 Spectres on Envy. Even though Envy won the round,
that's a
they've
great
got a
point,
worse
Dan.
buy. So it's basically the same round, but in reverse now. So we'll see the difference in approach already. Michael's starting off with drone info at the start of the round. They got catwalk control. They've given up A main, have Gen.G, and Envy will this time have control of A main, but they don't have control of B main just yet. So Win getting that info with that catwalk, and at this point, Gen.G don't really know what's going on. They haven't got any control of the extremities, so they've got to start worrying, and they don't have the drone anymore. So they don't have a way to easily gain the information that they need. And here comes a contact into A main from Envy.
See, there's the Paranoia. Oh, no, that was dark cover. Paranoia not out. And they're going to start hitting the site. Mikhail just calling that. Shots through the smoke, making sure he can still add pressure later as the flank now coming in from both sides. Is that a rotation all the way around from Win? Looks like he's just going to hold cap from Tree, but that's going to be a good pincer here on what may happen inside the site. Here comes Gen.G.
Nice trade coming in from Michael, though, and Crashies is jumping straight onto the top of Generator, standing large and in charge before dropping off quickly, though. 4 versus 4 retake as Gen.G indeed using that lockdown. Ooh, the shock dart's going to connect to destroy it. Doesn't look like it's going to. And oh dear, that's actually a detain as well on Crashies. That's not ideal. And they're all playing from A main. So this is beyond awkward at this point. Gusta, no fear in the dark cover. Looking for the fight. An absolute brawl there in the dark cover. And Envy's starting to come out and top TND, wondering what the hell happened to his teammates, as he's unable to have anyone to help defend him to defuse. And Envy pick up the round. And oh man, it doesn't feel like that should have happened at all. But Envy, man, they just always make it work.
Yeah, having 5 in the one area becomes or the rest of the people, I should say, in one area is always like, oh no, there's a chance we really lose this round. But like you said, they make it work. And yeah, I'm sure GMD was kind of just watching his team run into that void of a dark cover and wondering where they went. Unfortunate there. We'll see what happens here. Possible final round of our first map, Dan. 12-4 here has Envy. Seems to be feeling on point right now. And Food takes down Kusta to start us off here. Another bonus too.
Food so fast. Kusta, know what hit him. critted out though, so the retake is definitely a strong possibility here.
You should
Oh,
run.
Finesse has a lockdown that he could try to place, and he's going to do just that inside the site. That's going to buy a lot of extra time. There's no real way to actually destroy that, and they can't reasonably get the kills in time, so they're going to have to get out of there. Oh, Sean, is he going to get caught? He's just barely caught.
Jazz hands.
No! And Mummy's tiles ready for the punish. And that's going to make things even more difficult. They're going to charge down Crashies, who was paranoid. And Gen.G moving through the site. Finesse able to defend, but there's the trade from the Bucky. Showstopper comes out to finish it off, and Caboose is going to nail it. And that's a 13-4 victory. The first map in the hands of Envy. Well, it looks like we might see a possible fast contact into the C site behind the dark cover, but there's full control of A long, where there's a huge stack from Envy, so looks like it's going to work out nicely for a guaranteed spike plant, and it's going to be the retake for Envy. There's definitely a lot to talk about with the Phoenix dynamics, but we'll go into that in a moment as we see the retake now having to be set up, having to be coordinated, as Gen.G have had a very, very easy going opening here.
Little bit of a lurk.
My eye.
Oh, one from Kusta. Doesn't even have to reload on that. Trap through just to make sure he's creating that defensive or offensive pressure. Caboose to trade one back. And they're just pressuring this time to make sure everybody's in position, getting the calls right before they act.
Kusa has to play it perfectly on this lurk, as like he's really cautious about the timing, reading the map as well as possible. But here he comes. Kusa has to save this one. The defuse is being held in the dark cover, and Mummy has no issue at all holding it down for his teammate to defuse. Envy with a great retake, and so once again they're going to be off the bat with a solid footing in this game, and that's been problematic for Gen.G so far.
I want to say that Kusta felt like he was going to see more resistance. You know, after getting that frag, that somebody would come find him, because getting back into the site for the rest of the team, it just happened. You know, for Envy, they were like, somebody might be behind us, so let's flood the site. So that was pretty heady play by them to make sure that the rear flank wasn't really that useful to start off for Gen.G. And we'll see what they do here to Garage and beyond as they dive straight through.
Yeah, this eco is looking like it could actually catch Envy off guard here. Caboose does get the paint shells out, but he's going to go down in the effort. Oh, Mummy with the spray though. Oh, that is very nice from Mummy. I don't understand how he picked up that extra with the classic, but that makes all the difference. And that will prevent anybody else dying for Envy. So Envy will be, I think, quite happy with that. And as we go into this next round, there is a big dynamic we saw when Envy played against Luminosity. When Envy were playing the defense, Luminosity never punished the fact that Food was farming the A-long orb over and over again. And typically in the default of Gen.G, they don't put much pressure early rounds on A. If I were Gen.G, I would definitely be thinking about more A-long pressure, because look at what we're seeing here. Envy putting everybody around this long orb once again.
They're pinging it for the dart to go out. They've already got two on that box side. Oh, that's good damage right there. Looks like he wanted to throw out his hot hands. I believe he still has it. No, he did get it down. And now it's just going to be the pressure here on A. But what a call, Dan, to see both teams have such priority over this. And it didn't seem like there's a plan B just yet. That's to wait it out and see what comes of this.
Yeah, and this is already a huge improvement based on what the Velocity's attack looked like. Oh, great stuff though. Body's ready for that. And it's going to be a huge win there for Gen.G around A-long. Caboose wants to challenge this again. They actually want to live and die by this A-long play, but you know what? Gen.G doesn't care. They have the advantage. They're going to rotate back to B, and Finesse holding B down by himself. He's going to trip on C, and that's going to have to be where Gen.G go at this point, because they lost the entry towards B. It has to be this site, and it's going to have to be Finesse holding backside control, which he will not be able to successfully do, leaving Envy in the 2v3 retake.
What an unfortunate turn of events there. The dart just passed him firing, gave himself away, and Gen.G's able to dissect the site with Quinn on top of the box. Gen.G come up with another one for themselves, I should say, here in the second map. And that's what they're going to need. They got to start stacking these rounds. Fourth round here. Gen.G has one before they get too much damage done from Envy. We're going to have to see these ults coming into play now. Showstopper's up for Caboose. He's got the shoddy. We've seen how much work he can do with that just last time on Ascent B. And we'll see how close he can get. Looks like he wants to set up and Cubby C long.
Yeah, and he may actually make a play forward there, especially if the dark cover comes through. He can play in the Bucky with that dark cover. And he's still putting priority around a long knock and an A short, but not quite as much as before. Crashies, we can't quite find the angle. I don't think they know that he's here. The barrel of the gun is not spotted, actually. Do they have any idea? Crashies, he wants this so badly, he might get two out of it. You know what? He's good for one, and he's going to back away. That's a steal, and that is a huge pick to find for the team that's on the half buy.
It's absolutely wild because now they're considering how they have to move. Who else has pushed up? And they know they have a trap at C long. Spike is down right now, and they're doing a lot of work without it. 50 seconds left, which gives them enough time either side of the smoke in a game of cat and mouse for Kusta and Mummy. And that's going to be a pretty great neural theft to help them out. The earlier the round you can use the neural theft if you got it, the better. Better return on investment. And here's some kills from Win on A, but that's a trade from Food, and he may be able to get himself a rifle here.
Oof, that's rough. Looked like Win had that in the bag, but it's still a very dangerous round. If Win gets that kill and stays alive, it doesn't seem winnable at all. But right now we have the advantage in numbers for Envy. Food is very weak, of course. Finesse has picked up a Vandal, as has Food, as you mentioned. And now Finesse is coming in on a timing for A-Long, and he's going to actually get a freebie. It's up to Kusta. 1 versus 3 from Kusta. It's definitely going to be a hard one as they start to challenge. There's the running back pop. Nice. Able to punish Caboose through that window. And there's 2 players left. He's still maximum health, but they both have Vandal. There go the hot hands, forces to swing, and there's nothing else to do. He's traded by Food. And Food, we talk about Food time and again. And this is another round where he shows that he is a cut above so many in the professional scene as the Thrifty comes to completion.
You know, they're impressive. It starts to become so impressive because of the consistency. The pressure situations not affecting him, able to hit the shots. And every time in a situation that looks like the odds could be against him, it really thrives in that. Even at just 3-2-3 right now, the impact someone like Food has can't really be stated on a KDA. 5th round here, Envy 3-1 is Gen.G. Can do a little bit on this round. It looks like it's going to be a Blade Storm save and a bit of util buy here on the side of Kusta.
And I love that we have some focus on Food from C, because right now Envy are expecting heavy contestation around A long, which means that it's safer to push C and to make plays around C on the defense. However, we can see that Gen.G is actually playing a generally quite a defensive setup. They're actually going to, it looks like, try to contact through to the A site. So they're breaking, they're not even really defaulting here at all. And Food's got a forward position C long. So Envy going to start to work this one out. If Mummy gets a good paranoia here, good delay, that's a great shot.
Down
There
A.
goes Win, he can't punish. And that is a terrifying reality for Gen.G. They've lost so much and gained almost nothing in return.
The Wind Daggers have just been slightly wide on those right clicks. We saw one on Mummy earlier. It has not been in his favor, and some days are like that. They go down on the site take. We see Kusta here trying to just play some quick peeks, making sure he can get a shoulder first to give the team info. Spams don't do too much damage. A great trade coming in from GMD. Exactly what Gen.G needs right now. He has been popping off the past few days of the tournament, and it's exactly what could win them this round. He's got boosted there, and they're both going to be in hell.
Looking scary, the wall coming out as well to provide extra entrance, extra space onto the site. Food now could be in so many different positions. Nice swing though from Kusa. He gets the info. Finds Food. Down to GMD now. The fake TP comes through from GMD. Just barely catches Food, and he's going to finish it off. And my goodness, I thought that they, based off of what Mummy was able to accomplish, Rib, it looked like the round was dead. But the players coming up short played it perfectly and were able to trade all the frags and get space onto the site.
Moving in just slow enough. I think when Gen.G takes that time to discuss, you know, what they're doing, where they are, pull out a bit more util, instead of kind of play a game where you're saying, we need to retake the site. You know, there's an entire process to that. Envy can still be picked apart, and that's what we saw there. It takes a little bit more, especially with the way Envy's running right now. So as Gen.G, I think we're going to see them slow down a bit, and that probably benefit them here in Haven.
Very nice from Mummy. Man, he's just so damn good, isn't he? The dash route to the back of the side, though, for Win gains very quick position. Nice defense from Michael as well in the window. So, looking pretty good so far, but there's a lot left to do here for Gen.G as the danger lurks around every single corner. The Bucky is heard around the grass position. And Win able to keep defending this B side. So, looking good here as each player is one by one dealt with effectively. And I have to say, one thing I think, Riv, for me, that's promising here for Gen.G on their attack so far is that they're not allowing Envy to just get anything for free, which was the case when Envy played Luminosity. Luminosity were not able to ever punish Envy's early round plays, but Gen.G have been able to contest A long when it's important, and now the game is kind of flowing away from that. So Envy aren't investing as much A long, and we're starting to see a development as Envy look for edges in the early rounds elsewhere. So Gen.G are definitely doing a much better job here so far, even though we're going to 3-3. It's looking good to me, at least, as someone that's rooting for a 3-mapper, that Gen.G are going to have a way better attacking side.
Exactly, and I'm eating crow on that, happily so, because I thought, as you said, it'd be more focused on A. Orb play coming up, things are going to slow down. But instantly we see Quinn and Sean, the duelists of Gen.G, flying into the B site. So they're definitely looking to get under the skin of Envy. We'll see if that stays consistent. It is going to be the operator from Mummy. That usually helps to stop down on aggressive plays. So we'll see if they can catch Gen.G off guard with the first shot. That's going to be located at C to start off for Envy. It's like a pretty good split from Gen.G too. They could be able to avoid this.
Early drone into B here to clear these close positions. Just noting that this is going to be round just given for free early on. A lot of teams will play a retake on the B side, especially at the early timings. We have a 3-man setup towards C, so it looks like a pretty good spot here for Gen.G, but it can be difficult. And you know what? Actually, yeah, he's going to walk all the way through A link. What on earth is happening right now? Food is in the short position. He's going to try to stop this by himself. H comes through. He's in so much trouble. He can get spammed. Oh, no, he flashes himself as well, but still gets the kill. I don't understand, but Food is still alive.
What is happening this round was a perfect description there, Dan. Oh, my word. It's so tough to walk in if somebody's already in. Food looks behind. He's like, wait, did they maybe get behind me already? He's thinking right, but there's going to be two. Hides. Oh, the timing again. This round is so edge of the seat for all of these players, just thinking they're surrounded here. They're more than right as these situations continue to unfold. 30 seconds left in the round, and that's Mikael with the spike. And it looks like they're going to go towards Garage C. Maybe it's that B play again, but ring around the rosy, Dan, right through the window.
Oh, man, that could go so many ways. And Finesse is going to get caught, and it's crazy that they just had the sense not to just start running, because Finesse was still looking for info, still walking around, and his teammates didn't know what to do, but they are coming in at a good timing. The showstopper's popped in. Oh, but Win's able to punish Mummy as he comes around the back, and it's up to Caboose now. He's got the showstopper around, but can he avoid getting traded? He can't! Michael with the kill, and that's going to secure the round for Gen.G. An insane round, just as you said, Rib. It's so hot. Nobody knows what's going on. At a certain point, Win is lurking. It's a 2 versus 3. Nobody on the server knows exactly where anybody is or what the hell's going on. But Gen.G's just barely managed to come out on top there. Very weird round. Food surviving for a very long time. Such an awkward scenario, but the timings worked in Gen.G's favor, and that's going to have them leading by 1 round.
I love it. That's definitely a round to re-watch in the end. Win passing through the smoke as the drone goes overhead and then being like, so where is this? Where is Crashy's? Oh, there he is. Oh, my God. Finds him jumping around just after Owl Drone. And then the fun began. And it's definitely worth a rewatch. I can't wait to later. Tech Pause coming in here real quick as we have a moment to chat about what could be happening in round 8. Checking out the scoreboard and looking at all of these ults available. That's 9, Dan.
Oh my God. It is funny because these rounds have just kind of developed into such a weird place that it hasn't been a great spot to kind of figure out how to use them or when they should be used. It's just been chaos. But we'll see if there's maybe some order now, as we'll see exactly what the approach from Gen.G would be. I think we can see again that there's a heavy setup towards C here for Envy on the defense, and it's kind of looking like we can expect that, you know, Win's going to look for a peek towards C. They know that the money is not good for Envy, so he's not really going to get challenged there by another operator or a weapon that may go toe-to-toe with what he has. So there's definitely some assumptions that can be made for Gen.G, but ultimately they don't want to get caught out, of course, by Envy making any plays. And lots of teams like to have heavy garage control. They like to try to push mid and maybe split out of garage and mid to try to attack the attackers. But again, Gen.G pretty wise to all these kinds of potential plays.
All right, just about ready to hop back into play. And Quinn's going to be looking with that operator. Man, he is just set up this round. We see a few of the ults getting ripped off right off the beginning. He'll tag there. Nicely done. Crashies and food. No armor on this round, if we're reading that right. As they are just going in there trying to do the eco work here.
Oh my god, Rivi might move into 4 players. Oh, this is so scary. They have no idea what's on the site. And Envy don't know where they are either. They're going to go in, there's the wall. Ness is going to be isolated. Gone. The wall is everything here for Gen.G. Sean able to clip backside when it comes to lose through the cage. And even though they go into the 4-man setup, they do it together, they do it right, and they somehow avoid losing more than one player. I don't even understand, but it works.
I mean, great stack, great calls all around. I think everybody was ready to get into the fight there. It's just who hit the shots first. And we'll see what Crashies can do. 2 chalk darts and a dream. Not going to be that long. Quinn takes him down. Operator online now for Quinn and that Blade Storm still, as they only used Neural Theft on that round. We'll see what they have for round 9. Gen.G's feeling good as they put some padding in here now. Everybody's starting to get some frags. They're more confident on the opening shots, and it is showing for Gen.G here. You said it, Dan. Attack could be that bit of an advantage that they would need, and they're trying to run with it.
Yeah, it's certainly it's looking like they're beginning to really stabilize into what could be a strong lead. Of course, got a full buy from Envy as well. Envy not putting excess attention on any one point of the map. You know, we've seen a lot of that around A long early on, but you know, times have changed. This is looking like, you know, some mid control coming through from Gen.G, some presence there as they have given up all control towards C, and a very slow start from them in that sense. You know, they understand that there's nothing going on around the A short and A long position. Envy are playing very passively themselves. Envy going to need some of that mid-round information seeking. So that could be a recon, that could be, I'm not sure if the drone is still available. It is. So at a certain point, Envy are going to have to start finding out something, but they are maybe going to rely on those ults for retake as well. On that
look at the
side
traps,
at the very least.
traps in A already. The positioning right now of food. He's been standing there next to short. He's been hearing the camera. He's listening for footsteps. He's ready to throw a flash or a curveball into B. So that's such a great spot to have right there. And he might even get footsteps of Sean coming in. He's going to hear him right there. The team's going to be able to move. And already Crashies is there as well to get the darts into the site. This could be a big one. That 5v5 retake the play once again as run it back goes down to start us off.
And he got a lot of info there, actually. Saw a lot of players. Oh, that ult is going to be used very well to get some tags onto quite a few. He still has to run it back. FNS, well, there goes the neural theft. FNS is dead. Caboose, though, doing what Caboose does. He's found his way on top of the short box. And Gen.G are starting to struggle here. Just down to Sean, and the classic comes through for Mummy. And that was insanely chaotic. That TP from Mummy was awesome.
They gotta cause the chaos. He's like, take it, cut the red wire.
We good.
And they're good. Wow. ND looking to close that gap real quick. Nice execution there. A lot of that Sova Hunter's Fury damage coming into play, as you were saying, getting a few tags, softening up the site, and making sure that everything could work in their favor. So NB now on a pretty good buy with Mummy on the operator. They get that up out of Quinn's hands, and I think that's going to matter. Once we see that on both sides, rounds are either slowing down or speeding up due to who goes down first and how fast. But now that Gen.G does not have one, we'll see how they work this.
Drone going through straight away, but we have actually a push from Envy. Caboose and Mummy pushing C long. They're going to find absolutely nothing. The trip will be there. It's a difficult one. You could TP past it, but Caboose could only satchel over it or destroy it. So he's just going to hold the position instead. which is a lot of information for the team that offers up obviously flank potential. Crash is droning through to see what he can find here behind the dark cover. Doesn't see anything actually, but knows there is at least 1 or 2 players there. Garage is being taken control of, but they would have to break the trip, which they've just done. And so now, right, at this point, Envy's a bit worried about C.
Yeah.
They have Caboose in that really deep position. So if it is a C play, Caboose can do a huge amount of damage.
Great eye, Dan. He's already grabbed so much info there that the team can start to rotate a little bit. B's an easy cover if they have to retake, and he may get some footsteps here in just a moment for that call. He might have been taking a breath that moment. You look at the mini-map, and Sean takes advantage of it. They're moving in with first blood, and Mummy tries to stop it.
Almost getting the collab there as well. Win straight to the back of the site, but Envy have backside control still, and that's a problem. Nice paranoia going through, allows Crack to get an easy one on the GMP, and the headshot position protects Mummy, and that's gonna be Envy tying it up 5-5 in this first half on Haven, and it looks great going into this, but again, Mummy is just difficult to stop, and so I feel like Mummy is extremely reliable, especially on the operator. I love that dimension for this Envy team.
And that was such a good look from Gen.G. Going into that play, said the op wasn't going to be in their hands, and they go back to the B play that worked before, where Huynh and Sean are feeling comfortable being close to their opponents and getting in their face and making it work. However, they got shut down, stopped out by the smokes coming in from Envy, which was Mummy, still guarding C as well at the same time. So you're right. He is being able to multitask. He's being Mummy as usual, and with the operator in his hands, it's going to be tough to shut him down. Gen.G moving in with some Sheriffs, some Bulldogs, and a Phantom there for GMD. We'll see if they protect that a little bit on what could be a B play.
Ready with that boombot to send that through. This is going to be awkward here for... Oh, God, it's looking looking gross, isn't it, at the B side. Nothing really to do here for Gen.G to get position there, but they'll quickly reroute themselves to that C rotation. But Vanessa's there, he's ready, he's waiting. He's got the Phantom, he's got assistance and food, and that's the flawless there for Envy. Looking like they could actually end this half 7-5, and that would be very sad for Gen.G because they've had a lot of great opportunities, they've done a lot of good work, but Envy's just such a hard team to stop.
And everybody's stepping up for both teams, I should say. We usually, we talked about Food, we talk about Crashies, we talk about Mummy, but Caboose here doing great this time as well. Inside of Gen.G, you can't say Koos has not been fragging out. He has had some great plays all around, and he does it on different agents. So this guy is one of my favorite players. Is he's able to switch it up and continue, and that's such a different mental on the agents that he switches from. So Cypher Killjoy is a bit the same, but you definitely have to think about how you're using your util, and he still comes up with the frags.
We get the short drone coming through here, and there's no run it back or anything like that. And it's certainly a play that can be quite strong if you have that run it back to aggressively take a lobby control in terms of what the defenders are doing and their options. But you get that early information, and that's also something for Gen.G. They know that that drone is no longer available to find info. But Food, if he could find a timing here and the curveball comes out, okay, it is dodged. That's definitely good as far as Gen.G are concerned, but he's slowing down any push towards this A site. There's 3 defenders now on A, so this is not a good look if Gen.G are to walk into this. The Mummy's there, so is Food. Beautiful work over one another, and the flash as well. The trade starts to come though for Gen.G, and it's suddenly looking good. Sean delivering a very important couple entries.
That's exactly what they needed. We have not seen Sean stepping up enough in these as much as he usually does, I should say. He's still been doing his part. That gets quickly taken out. Envy's able to extinguish it. Nade comes through. They get the push out. They get the displacement. It's not going to be enough yet. Pink Shell's on one. And Caboose able to get one there, but it's going to be Kusta once again making the plays for the team to help him out. Grab the 6-6.
Yeah, all tied up at the end of the first half, and I have no idea what to expect here going into Envy's attack. We didn't really get to see a lot of it yesterday when they were playing Luminosity, just because Luminosity didn't do enough in terms of their attacking side. So it'll be very interesting to see what style of play we get out of Gen.G's defense. Are they going to be aggressive? Do they want to play more retake? There's a lot of questions that soon will be answered as we go into the first rounds of this second half, and I definitely want to see a third map here. I'm sure you do as well, Riz. So
oh my God.
I'm looking to see what can go right for for Gen.G here, given how good Envy have been looking. But not too much to challenge this huge burst of players towards the A site. Win barely survives that.
They know quite a few are there. Footsteps will tell them that sound cut will tell them that rush isn't going to fully come through, and a great push down here from Kusta already towards that mid side. We'll see what he can keep accomplishing with that information grab.
And kind of resetting out here, and you just know that Envy understands exactly what can happen, and Finesse is looking for that lurker. He's going to find him in a pretty typical position. And they're going to go back to A, actually. They're expecting that Gen.G will rotate all the way out, and Finesse is just getting every kill anyway. So now there's only 2 players left, one of which, Win, is extremely low. And Caboose sort of checking this. Win's able to take him down, but GMD has to take down 4 players on a retake. And he's against a Ghost and 3 Frenzies. It's hard to really see a world where GMD gets much out of this spot, but we'll see if he can make some money at least. That would be a big win for GMD. Get some money with some kills, charge up his ults. That's what he's looking for. There's that first spot. He just so badly wants at least a kill here.
Somebody show me your head. It's all he wants. Fakes to jump out. They know it's not happening. Nobody's pushed me still. All right, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. He knows he has to go down. You want to get that cash for the round. And nobody was going to push him eventually. So into the fire he goes. And we are on to the next round. 7-6, Envy grab that pistol, and they're going to be pretty well off here for this next one. We'll see how, keep an eye on how long they bonus. They did that into a lot of rounds coming up to game point on our first map. So we'll see if they try to stretch it even more here as they have rounds to play with on our second half of map 2.
We can see Gen.G looking like they want to rush down mid. So this could be a very, very quick round. We'll have to see what they're able to do with it, but it will be a quick tech pause here, so we get to, I mean, I'd say theorize as to what's going to happen, but I think they're going to run down mid and they're going to die. I think that's what's going to happen, but of course, that's what you expect to happen because, this is not matchmaking.
Yeah.
Envy know what, this kind of rounds can mean, and they know that that's certainly one of the ways teams will play this, so that I don't think they're going to get caught off guard.
Right. And you can see, you can look at the util. What's prioritized, right? Nothing for GMD. Takes too long to throw any of those out. You want to be running. You could have the drone if you get a few kills. That's good to use. Shock darts, they'll happen later. Curveball also, right? And you can see, like, Kusta didn't buy anything. You're right, they're Russian. It all tells a picture. It's great to look at that and the rest of the mini-map. So push begins. How far do they get? Oh, one's known. That could have been a shot from anywhere, right? I think somebody close might have hit that, but they're going to move as the death ball this round, and we'll see how that works out for them, as it looks like the next party will be at A.
And you can see that just that one camera, it's a signature ability. It's going to recharge. That is what just crushed that push. Just that push, it relies on them getting close enough to be able to burst and get into position to overwhelm. And that camera prevented all of that. So as you say, quite rightly, that death ball decides to be rerouted elsewhere, and Envy are looking for it. There goes a cage. That's not going to do too much, actually. So they may find what they're looking for here, because it doesn't seem as though... Okay, now the information is known. There's an updraft to try to break the crosshair place a little bit. Finesse, he's in a lot of trouble right now. He's alone, and I don't think he's going to survive this. He definitely does not.
They're trying to figure out how they want to split the forces here, and none of them want to go through C. They figure since the fight is there, they're going to expect some to come around. No, I don't know what they want to do. They're going to hang it out. They're looking for all the exits they can. I was like, are they going to push in? But no, they'll stay for the far exits, and they keep themselves back.
Yeah, it would be really... I think the ideal scenario is just as you say. If they want to kill as many players as possible, maybe trap them in the bomb blast radius. Normally, the attacking team will have one place that's secured for the exit rotation, and that's C long. And it looks like Gen.G have 3 players here, so they've covered both eventualities. Pressuring the site here, so they're going to keep some players in position. They're all grouped up, and GMD picks up another one from Spectre, and they trade out any more. They will, so they actually get 3 kills. So, sure, they didn't win the round or anything like that, but in terms of some of the objectives, that's a huge win for as far as Gen.G is concerned. 3 kills is a lot of damage, and a round otherwise that could have been no kills.
Right, and you're getting them off those bonuses. You're seeing the buys have to come in a bit. Spectres as well, still around the board, just so full armor can happen. Guns for Gen.G. 6 to 8 here. Pressure comes on at 9. That next eco, you push to 10. You're wondering, you force save for another so you can have 2 in a row. Within that situation of rounds, it becomes the mind game of how to play economy, but also what your opponent will do now that you're getting to that. Food, just kind of predicting he can get through a little early, but it may cause the timing that he has the advantage. He's not.
They're charging into the C side here. A quick split coming in. We're actually not going to split. It's a quick push from Garage. Gen.G, though, starting to control the scenario. Mummy's down to 17 HP. Crashes is on 70, so Spike goes down, but they are pretty weak, and they have no control of long, and so they're going to try to push together around the spawn position, and Mummy's going to be actually... Okay, he's going to smoke off Garage. Maybe play inside of the smoke. He's got to play some high-risk spots here because they're in a very, very disadvantageous position. Stuck on the site. Push comes in. Swing is there. Michael and Win get it done. And Gen.G pick it up on the retake. However, again, bonus round for Envy. They get the spike planted. They get a couple kills. I'd say that's definitely well within the realms of an acceptable round as far as Envy are concerned.
Yeah.
As we go into the next round. This is going to be the first 4-buy versus 4-buy. Oh, actually, maybe not. Caboose and Crashies had less money than I thought.
Yep.
They're going to be stuck on Spectres or
They're
something.
still going around. See if they focus on Alt Orb here. They are, I mean, they are focusing as much utility as they can, which is also putting them into these buy situations. And he'll feel comfortable, especially if they're focusing a few orbs to get in there. But we are, like you said, going to have that Spectre against the firearm or the rifles of Gen.G. We're moving into 8-7 here, round 16. The dart set up over, and it does find one in sight. Food's going to get the takedown win as GMD trades back. Big one from short as he gets 2.
So many options here now for Envy on the attack. What they could do is they could just reset the round now. They got loads of time left in the round. They don't have to push into A. They could try to play the information game instead. They know that there's so few spots on the map now that the defenders can be in. There's only 3 of them left. They have to kind of gamble. It's risky for them to get information. They get a tag on 1. Well, that could change everything as the push comes through from Caboose now. He wants to punish that drone tag. His teammates, again, are actually going away from the A site. And they know that everybody's going to be stuck on this A site because of the pressure from Caboose. Wow. He's going to sell it further. He gets a pick. They're going to have to stay on the A site. At this point, Envy knows surely that the rest of the map is for free. But with that said, they're going back again. Oh, the shock dart trades him out. This is crazy.
And now they're going to get in on the late pincer. Wait, they heard that. Hear him coming back in. Oh, my word. The cat and mouse right now that is happening is absurd. Spike's going to be planted. Mikael with the dart, with a bit of HP. Gets food, takes the double damage there, but he's going to send the owl drone through. Hell has been identified. Shock dart through. Oh, he gets him with the bow still out. So much diff. Mikael coming up, and he will tie the game back up at 8-8.
I just have this huge, just ear-to-ear grin right now because that round was so cool from both teams. Back in the 3v3, you're in a spot where Caboose is selling it so hard that they're going to go into A off the back of that drone tag. And the kill that he gets, and then he gets the info. He knows both players on A, and they know that both of them are on A. So they're in a position where they're like, well, they surely will go to the other side of the map. They know it's completely free, but they reset back into A, and it's just genius that they do that. But still, Michael clutches it. Just amazing round from both teams, the way that played out. But we get win on the operator now. First time we're seeing this, but it is an eco here for Envy. And they are starting things off going pretty fast into Garage control.
Picture perfect curveball there that he was able to throw in. Shot from Quinn, even through the utility spark of a shock dart. Caboose goes right down. That's going to be Blade Storm and quite a few other things up for Gen.G here. They're looking fantastic as they're now rocking this defensive side of the map. Trying to push in. Quinn hitting another one, and it looks like Spike's going to be down as now it's the post plant. Quinn with 3. Oh, my word. I thought I was going to give you a moment there to say something, but never mind. Round's over.
Yeah, it's all good. In the hood, Win locking it down with the operator. Great start from him. Now that we have finally seen that operator coming into play, and they get a flawless out of it. Quite a few scary situations there. The drone tag onto Mummy was really critical as well, just helping them keep track of everything that was happening. And Envy, they are trailing one round now as Gen.G take the lead 9-8. And you're looking at the minimap, we can start to see how things are looking on the defensive side. We have Win focusing around C. So I'm curious how much action we're going to get here, because also we see Sean there with him. So looking like they want to go aggressive together. It might be a play against them. There comes the jump tag, but he has the perfect angle to punish. And he falls back with that free kill.
Might have seen another one just for a moment, but he still backs off. I love the shoot and move. Always change your position. That means they may not feel comfortable going to C, so they'll push something else. The op's not going to be here. No, Quinn is already thinking 2 steps ahead. Almost has a shot here onto Food if he pushes closer. And it doesn't look like he's going to cross that line of sight. You can see Quinn here, right here. I am expecting someone mid. Not this time, though. A few bits of utility go down across the map. You see drone clearing A. So mid-round, information still being grabbed by Gen.G of what's going and to possibly happen.
Walking through to A, and they have no idea where Win is. This is a difficult scenario for Envy. The way that they keep some of their advantages is by, of course, grouping up, by making it seem like they're doing something and actually doing something else. So they get the boombot clear. They're on short. And you can see that there's a response here from the defenders. Envy are actually stacking A because of that one bit of info. And Food now, he's going to spot this. He's going to be in a position where he's going to have to pull back to help out C. And he's going to be able to do that, trading out Sean. Figure out where the rest of these players are. As Envy managed to take full control of that C site, because they forced Gen.G on the defense to be out of position with that info that they presented on the A short position earlier.
A few unknowns to be covered. That garage has to be figured out before they make their way back in, and they got to worry about C long. Oh! The dodge and run, trying to do it, blind on, and there's going to be a few shots back and forth. FNS with huge frags there, but Mikhail able to find the frags with the Hunter's Fury, and they say, take it back, go ahead. And they're both on 0 points. So that's a prioritization there of Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, and it's interesting now, talking about the ult economy. Certainly, there's a favorable scenario here for Envy. They've got the Showstopper ready to go. Mummy's got his TP, crashes with the Hunter's Fury, Neural Theft there on Finesse. And Food is 1 orb from the run it back. So you'd imagine that they'd want to try to prioritize securing an orb for Food in this round regardless. And they're in a situation where they are on the half buy too. So they could actually try to, and they know that they have the ult advantage. So they could invest a couple ults here and actually try to win this round off of the back of them using this half buy. We'll see if they're able to do that. Well, there's a recon going through behind the cage, and it's a big push. Oh, they're in trouble here. We're able to dodge the Hunter's Fury. Michael able to also hold the position down, but the trades come through, and it's looking really good here for Envy. Those ults coming in huge, but it's just absolute chaos. Kusta and Sean rotating in, run it back, pop, curveballs going in. Nice trade, even though he's got this guy on. This is just insane right now. If it doesn't stop, the action is just continuous.
Spike planted.
Here.
Last player standing.
I was
And he's
doing
around the
myself there.
cage. And he's going to go down. Gen.G with an unreal retake there.
An absolutely amazing play, and you would have, if you heard what I said and I didn't mute myself, it would have been even better. 3 entry points off the beginning of that site for Envy. It just blew Gen.G out of the water, and for Gen.G to recoup what was going on, orchestrate the retake with Mummy from window, 1 from lower, 1 from A long was immaculate. Great job by Gen.G to come back in that one. An injustice that I muted myself there. I apologize for the stream. But what a strat that they were able to employ to make sure they got in and just made it seem like Envy didn't have a post-plant defense.
Yeah, I love those Omen TPs window in fast rounds like that. But into the next one we go, and Win, you never know where he's going to be at the start of the round, but they're going to spot him now as he whiffs the shot towards window. And at the same time, because lots of action was spotted towards mid, you can see Jimmy tries to push a lobby and Win. He's doing a great job here so far, and even he gets another. And suddenly there's problems because Envy, they've lost 1 or too many players going into the B plant. They're going to walk A link there. They know they can't hold on to B. And they know that players have rotated out of position. So they're gambling on this A site take because they know that GMD pushed A lobby. They know there's no defenders really here. And they're going to get a post-plant rib. It's going to be difficult. It's 2 versus 5. But if they want it, they have a post-plant on A. But they're looking for they're looking for the players on A lobby first. This is genius.
Oh my God, Mikhail in such a good spot. He could easily get to here with a little bit of control. Oh my God, the Colette! You gotta be kidding. You have to be kidding. Mikhail having such a good series. 21 and 11 from the Sova. Hitting Hunter's series left and right. Gen.G, game point to push us to map 3.
That's just beautiful control, and time and again, Win is doing immense damage around the mid position, or pretty much anywhere any position that he's in. With the operator, we didn't see him have this level of impact on Ascent. He found it much more difficult to get those spots to work from, but Haven is certainly a breath of fresh air as far as he is concerned. And we're gonna see Envy looking for that opening around grass, giving up a lobby control, looking to focus on what is probably gonna be a C split. And there's 3 players ready from Gen.G for this.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Right out of garage. This is going to be close. A lot of return here if he can get right in. So another one before they got into the gate. That's going to be 2 from Food. As they're going down swinging. If they're going down, and they're keeping themselves in this round beautifully with 3 early kills. The few come in from FNS and the rest of the team. And that was a haymaker from Envy.
Absolutely, and that's something that they were able to do off the back of some of those ults. We've seen it so many times from Food. Able to get that garage control fast, pop the run it back. The entries through are just very difficult to stop when he's hitting a stride like that. But with that said, there's no ults available for some time for Envy, so they're going to have to do this off of their defaults, and the ult advantage is likely going to go and shift in the favor of Gen.G. And we'll have to see exactly how this early lobby control works out. We've got the operator out for Mummy. Michael able to get rid of the recon and Win. He's working along. They haven't seen this for a while, so they might not expect him here. He's got to try to trade this, and he won't be able to. Early advantage found by Envy. The question is now, do they want to go and hit A off the back of this, or do they reset out?
Spikes down, so it looks like they want to reset out overall. They're gonna definitely want Dart to come back up, so they have a little time on what Crashy's gonna be able to perform for the team. They do have drone. They're gonna want a more forward position for that, and honestly, that works as a great start before even having that sonar to make sure you are in a safe position to take a site. Push up from GMD, feeling confident, and he gets himself taken out.
Yeah, this is so difficult. You can see the desperation from Gen.G when they lost that player. Envy just let them sit in the desperation. Envy knows that they have to get something back. And, well, they were ready and set up to deal with the information plays. The punishes from Gen.G didn't work out because Envy was so ready. And here comes the creep. Basically every Envy player. There's nothing that Sean can do. And this is a classic, one of those classic rounds where you know what the other team has to accomplish. And so you can set up optimally to catch it. And with that said, Envy will move to 10 rounds. Kusa is going to try to save what he has, not going to attempt the 1v5. Don't blame him. And we'll have to see exactly what this is going to look like now, because Mummy has his TP again. Crashies has his Hunter's Fury and Riv. I think, when we saw those 2 ults previously, it was for a fast A hit using Mummy's TP to get into window and using Hunter's Fury to clear the site. It's a very dangerous combo.
Yeah, that was I muted myself round. It was really great. It was, though. The way they execute, Crashies will fire mostly, they kind of edge it towards the inside of the entryway on A from defender spawn. Then they'll put it in the entryway. Then you're firing down the lane of everybody who would be coming from BA to entry into A. So you kind of move it around, figure people out, and that chaos is beautiful for the rest of everybody to enter the site. You'll see Caboose flying in there. Food's going to be flying in there. And we'll see if they set up for that. Usually it'll have the Sova Dart set up just behind everybody here in Garden, but they do look to be defaulting a bit this round.
And you can almost see that Envy, or rather Gen.G, are expecting this because they know what we just talked about, and Envy can play off of that expectation. And you can see that they're doing that by hitting the site that they would expect to be minimally defended. Like, there's no defense on the C side. It's in fact completely open at this portion of the round, which means that Gen.G have to play aggressively for information on the A side where they were stacked, and they're rotating immediately. But they're not going to get here quickly enough, Riv. This site is for free.
Right here.
Yeah, it's good thing Mikhail got there for Gen.G so he could give a little bit of info that we need to move on this right away. Whew. GMD waiting to come across. Mikhail with the Odin to open things up. And they're going to take this one slow. Look how much they're checking for the flanks. Through B, already still through spawn now for GMD. As they creep in, this is going to be some teamwork and necessary for GMD.
Oh, Michael with that Odin's actually causing problems. Down to 2 HP. Caboose is one bullet anywhere's going to do it. Oh my god, how is he alive? Michael's trying to find him. He's going to do it. The paint shell's giving his position away. And even though Crashes can defend here, he can't survive for too much longer because we know Michael's coming, and there he is. Mummy with the TP there, back towards spawn. Is he going to find the angle that he needs to deny this? There comes the paranoia. He's going to try to make a desperate attempt. But desperation is the name of the game as Gen.G pick up map 2. I feel like this is going to be really important, especially given how much we know that Envy likes to farm those orbs. It will give more ability, I feel like, for Gen.G to have strong challenges. But we'll go into the pistol now. Gen.G off on the attack, as they have been every map this series. Straight away, the drone comes through down short, clearing up the close positions, and we're going to get the take of the A site. There's some quick flanks coming in. In fact, 3 flanking players here, though, for Envy.
A bit of a planned retake on A for the planned take coming from Gen.G. Great pushing. I love when they get in deep on the defender's spawn. You got to start creating that pressure right away. Causes the drone to come out. They get a quick blast back, and that's going to be the shorty temp from Win, as nobody has gone down just yet.
So smart to get him off of the drone, the satchel. So smart. And it's looking very dangerous here for Envy. They're losing basically everybody. Mummy's going to have to do something insane here. And Nakusa's going to go to punish Finesse in the back with the classic. And that's a wrap. Gen.G pick up the pistol. And that was, just as you said, Riv, it was a nice take of the A site. It was a retake setup from Envy. Yep. They had the flanks. Both teams pretty comfortable with what happened. But it ultimately, Gen.G with the better execution. And the reward of winning the round. So into the eco for Envy now.
Oops, satchel. Oh well. He looked like he had fun when he bounced around on the mini-map. So we did have a bit of run over towards showers. This might actually be Kusta making sure he can get the cam in there. It's not a focus already. Food looking for that orb. And they're at least going to get the trap down here. And they can definitely hear each other. At least Food heard something.
Yeah, I love this trip. You can't destroy that trip unless you go past the doorway. So that's one of the reasons why you do that. And it does the same job, but just better than the one in the corridor. That's really easy to punish. And so a very slow round here from Gen.G. They don't want to fall victim to anything. There's the spot. Kusa. They're winning that 1v1 for now around showers. Somewhat of a stalemate. And behind this, as far as Envy are concerned, Gen.G could be doing anything. A lot of info at all for Envy, and here goes Gen.G though, forcing the action.
I like that point. It's only the Cypher you're seeing, so how much is actually playing off that? Well, the truth is a lot, because Gen.G's now in the site here on their Spectre Bulldog round. Kust is able to take one down. Mame falls, and now it's just going to be a bit of a rotation back to the other side. They're not liking how much pressure they may have brought over to A, but little do they know, there's quite a bit still at B if FNS falls.
Flawless.
Oh, Win gets a lot of kills there. That's actually pretty huge because Win could drop the Bulldog, could get an orb and pull out his knives. That's something they could do if they really want to kind of min-max there with their economy, but at the same time they can also just play with what they have here, and it looks like that's likely going to be the case. And we'll see 4 Phantoms, 1 Vandal coming out of Envy for this round, and looks like Envy are going to focus on Showers control here. So that's going to be the first point of focus for the round. Who wins Showers? Who gets that first edge?
So it looks like Sean bought the Spectre, dropped it to Win. Win dropped his Bulldog, so Win can still keep money towards the Operator. Sean's feeling good about just the Frenzy on the bonus this round. They're playing with a little bit of econ toying here, and they're pushing through. Envy's going to be able to drop 2 here as Gen.G's looking for some shower pressure.
Ooh, who's in a very difficult spot, pulls out the classic. Sean gets the reload in, and that crunch is going to work out very nicely for Gen.G. I think they might know about Crashies. We'll have to see as he starts to move forwards from the Showers position.
Spike
Finesse!
down
He's
A.
found 2. And with that, Win is the last man standing. They don't know where he is. He's able to get himself into the 1v1. Out come the daggers, and the spike is not planted. He's got a minute to try to find Crashies. Where has he gone? Win looking for him. The reaction's there. The Red Bull clutch for Win.
Oh, wow.
And Gen.G convert the 3rd round. The bonus goes their way.
With bi-specter drops, a frenzy on Sean, that feels good. So interesting to see Quinn go for the Vandal, too. We'll talk about that a little bit as we see him here clutch up once again, playing it smart, able to get the 3K, feel good about that. But, oh, maybe the judge. So they're actually just stacking money right now. The comfort level is absurd. Knowing it's an eco, why why dip that much into your pocket? They're playing pretty smart there on the side of Gen.G.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to be said for going to the operator when you need it, as opposed to showing that look before.
Exactly.
And we can go into that point more, maybe. As a big satchel comes through from Sean to gain position, get his team out there, but he does get punished by Caboose. And Caboose is now rotated into Showers, so he's going to have favorable engagements. If anybody tries to challenge him here, it's going to be quite difficult. But there's the swing from Win. Win is doing so much. He's come alive. From the second map, he's been perfect. He's been able to take down a few as well. And there we go. The eco is dealt with, losing only Sean, but that was pretty much by design. He had to double satchel in. He's probably going to die off of the back of that. And that's a 4-0 lead now for Gen.G.
There's laser beams right there for the eco. Confident shots, obviously, as you know, you're going up against the classics. And we're going to refrain from operators on both sides here. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit earlier. I said it at the beginning of the tournament that usually you'll see Quinn, even Mummy, go for the Bulldogs on the second round as people are going Spectres. You'll carry it longer, be able to drop it. And Bulldog also sets you up for the peek and burst. Peek and burst, the style that is also the peek and off, getting a shot. So it kind of calibrates you to get ready. And you'll see a lot of uppers go for the Bulldog route into that operator. Here, Sean starts off the round as... Talking about that, we don't have any ops. He gets a nice kill there with the Phantom and Showstopper in his hands now.
Difficult spot for Envy. They felt like they had to push something after losing Showers control, and unfortunately for them, it's not going to work in their favor, and that might just be the rounds done and dusted there. 5 players left, all the post-plant position you could possibly ask for Gen.G, and that was off the back of that killing Showers that was through the dark cover. And then again, it triggered the short push, and Gen.G were very wise. They realized that that kind of a response was quite likely. They waited for it and had better spots, pick up the kills. Very straightforward. And Crashies, they get one hit. Gen.G have so much money. They want to punish. They're going to send everything to punish these players. And eventually they will be able to take down the remainder. And that's worth it for Gen.G, a team that has way better economy.
And from either team, I mean, you want to see this from any team, I should say, is that after a best of series, the starts go the distance, the mentality is still there to be able to come out this strong. Because, like I said, whoever wins this match still has a lot of work to do versus FaZe. So, great job to see Gen.G be able to come into map 3 with a clear mind here and start putting Envy down round by round. We're coming into round number 6, another save for Envy.
Yeah, it's very dangerous right now for Envy on the defense. We talk about how reliable their defense often is, but they haven't really been able to have much go their way early round. They're stacking towards Showers there. Obviously, they're on an eco right now, or a half buy. So there's some light armor to go with the frenzies and the bucket.
Yep.
And Mummy's actually going to be able to have enough for a Vandal. So Mummy's going to be assisting that Showers control. And they're just leaving Finesse with the Bucky on B by himself. So a very difficult situation for Envy. They have a lot of ultimates. I don't think that they necessarily want to burn them unless they get an opportunity that looks like they could maybe convert the rounds off of the back of it. And to begin with, they will be able to get that Showers control. Goose is playing quite passively around this position. The rotation from Envy again to B. They don't see anything right now. They don't know what's going on.
All the patience. You know, it's that hope that you're like, somebody will peek. We'll get an idea that X agent is in this position, but they're really the only thing they're seeing is utility coming over walls, and that doesn't give you too much of an idea other than someone's out of sight, not really holding an angle. It's going to be a slow work up towards B. Spike still dropped. So a lot of just feeling out the map right now, and it looks like it will be a committal towards B in the end. Probably a 30, 40-second hit here and see if they can strangle out Envy on that defensive side.
Oh, they're doing such a good job at convincing Envy it's going to be an A play. Such a good job at making the argument for that. And it's just only Finesse and Hookah, and everybody else walked up through Garden and Long. And they have Kusta watching the flank from Market. Crashes will drone through, see absolutely nobody here. That's going to allow them to TP through safely. Gets to the spot, they know they see Kusta, and they know what's going on now, but they're going to be able to get the frag, and they're going to be able to take him down. And Michael, he knows exactly where they all are, so able to use the ult to secure this one. It's looking very hard at this point for Envy, but they are starting to fight back. They're getting the frags and a couple of gun upgrades.
Oh my god, the Envy dog pile coming into effect there to start getting the first few frags. They're going to do the same thing to get into B site possibly. A beautiful paranoia coming through that allows him to open up the site. The Bucky's coming up big from Crashy. GMD trying to get the final shots in here. Looks, oh, he pulls the step back perfectly. Draws Crashy into the advantageous shot. 13 HP, and he's living the dream. What a round from GMD.
Oh, that's heartbreaking for Envy. It looked like such a good moment, but the Red Bull clutch for GMD. He's found himself in this position many times, just clutching it out, and it seemed like he was so unaware of that possibility for Crashy to swing him. In my mind, that was a foregone conclusion, but the reaction of GMD was perfect, and 6-0 is the score as a result.
Right up top there, 2,000 plus average combat score to start. Him and Twin with the multi-kills round after round. The opening first bloods round after round. They are really coming online here in the third map. And again, remember, Envy has been on defense to start all 3 maps, so it's been on Gen.G to set the pace here throughout this entire series. Starting attack each time. A lot of shower work to clean up this first part of the round as Mummy comes up at the best of that. Last one standing there.
TP across coming in from Mummy to get back onto the site there, and pretty aware that the U-Haul position was pushed. GMD able to win the battle though regardless. That 1v1, that one fight is insanely impactful because now there's no position on the A site. Rotation comes through safely for Gen.G to get the spike planted on a truck. And this is going to be a tough one. There is Hunter's Fury available, but I don't think Crashies really wants to use that. He's going in. Clear U-Haul. The 2-man setup. Crashies is aware, but he has to hit the shot as well. Finesse in the dark and the paranoia, but playing these close ranges will push through undeterred. There's the drone tag, and that is rough. Very rough indeed. Oh, the dog cover comes through. Shot as well. At this point, there's nothing that he can do, and the Showers control play, the setup there was excellent from Envy. They had the paranoia set up to blind through when Gen.G felt like it was going to be safe to push in. They caught Gen.G, but still didn't come well off the back of this. You can see Sean getting some damage in. The cage was really good from Kusta as well to protect himself and to keep that Showers under lock and key. And that opened up the short position to be lurked through by GMD, which obviously then he won the 1v1 against Mummy because of how open that area was for him. So really well played by Envy. They're attacking, or rather Gen.G, their attacking side is looking so good.
They have have an answer for everything strategy, right? As soon as one person gets pushed, the trade is there. They're comboing off each other so well right here, and plays like this from Win, again, creating space, causing that defense to push back off their original angle. Unfortunately, not enough people can follow this time around, but they are going to attempt B here and see what they can get tentatively. That is going to be the push still from Kusta onto A. We've seen this being a big factor of info grab with that lurker.
They saw 3, when Win pushed in, he saw 3 people on the B site. They rotated an extra player, so there is a timing, despite being down to 2 players. There is a timing here for them as they move forward onto the site. And Sean able to trade through, he gets another one, that's huge. That is so huge. Now Gen.G have a chance to win this round off of the back of what was a very desperate situation. There was the one window of timing that they had, and they got in that window, and they're getting the spike planted. It's 2 versus 3. make that 1 versus 3. As Michael's the last man standing. He's dead. Rocket in the face. And Envy, they pick up their first round.
Stop the bleeding at 7. That'd be good for a 7-5. It's going to be a bankroll built up here by Gen.G, though. I'm sure they've been buying smart. If they were losing any of their econ, they get to work off a lot of ults this round. And it just seemed like Gen.G there, I'm sorry, Envy did a great job of getting away from Hwin, knowing the damage he could cause and waiting until it became the right angle to take him out.
Yeah, it was so cool to see as well, because, you know, one thing about that round is that the ult economy massively favors Gen.G. They didn't really use very much except Hwin's ult.
Yeah.
But there was a lot used on Envy's side to convert. So Envy are in a big disadvantage in terms of the ults, which means that Sean, with that showstopper, could be pretty instrumental in opening up position. I'll have to see what exactly he chooses to do. But Envy take the initiative. They're a big long push on B to see what they can find. But again, seeing that kind of a push, will that trigger Gen.G to push something else? Because they know that there's a lot of players towards B right now. The A side of the map is somewhat open, but they're actually allowing Envy to reset.
Yeah,
and
Spike was down there. Becomes tough for the run situation. I was right there with you thinking like, oh my gosh, they're all coming down B, but it's a default strat with a Spike down, so it almost can't be acted on. See if they can still get this side over towards the A side. Traps are down. And this is much more of a wait till they hit the traps and then show where you are kind of site play. You really want to just pop out of the woodwork once your opponent starts stepping too far.
Players in position for Envy to defend this A push. Angels goes out. That's a decent amount of damage. GBA tries to get a TP there. Not going to work out. Michael with a forward kill on Caboose. That's going to mean backside control is now with Gen.G. Finesse. He's everything right now. He goes down. He had to survive. If he survives there, then he is going to give his team a chance. But they might have to save now off of the back of that play because they don't have any position to work with. They've got nothing. They have nothing here. And indeed, they're going to start to fall back to the B site to save. There's just no other choice, especially given that Mummy has that operator. And you want to be able to actually have a full gun round next round. And they should be able to have something that resembles that with these 3 saved weapons. But it's terrifying, Rip, because they try to go for a B-long play. And after they were spotted, they were panicking. They were thinking what we were talking about. Oh man, Gen.G might have used this and try to push something else. Then they had to drone immediately to figure out what was going on. And eventually they came upon a site setup on A and actually got ahead of what was happening.
Yeah.
They still couldn't defend. They still had no ability to defend that because they'd already lost the forward positions because of that early round play. So Envy is in a position where they can't win showers. Their plays around B are not working. When they're playing passively, Gen.G are able to just coordinate into wherever they want. Everything looks bad right now for Envy.
And Gen.G are spicing it up, right? Hwin with the operator was the one initiating that U-Haul push with 2 members in a classic. Like, you expect the op to be back in mid trying to shoot heaven, but they just have so many options because they are flowing with whatever the situation is right now. And I think that's the reason they're able to kind of circumvent what Envy's trying to do on these defensive positions. I mean, look at them right there to help each other out. That was almost a pie in the face as Sean had his nade out. Oh my word.
And yeah, that's savage. Dude, though, looking to me drop, and he has a curveball. He could try to just go for this. Oh, he didn't know when the dark cover was going to win. That's rough. And Gen.G right now, they're looking insanely strong. It's Envy in terms of the confidence game. They're in that position, Riv, where nothing feels like it's working.
Yeah.
The confidence to make plays is starting to disappear because the times when they've tried to do that, nothing's worked. And I mean, I don't know what the adjustment is. They tried to play for showers that last round again. Just they can't win any area of the map.
And honestly, you know, it becomes an enigma for who they're playing next. FaZe watched a map go to Envy, a map go to Gen.G, and then Gen.G just completely wake up and start obliterating. So how do you read this? They got to be watching what's going on here. And damn, is that going to be a good map as well? We're still here on this one. Envy not out yet, but tournament lives on the line here in map 3 for both teams. 9-1 as we're entering round 11. Got a minute left in this. And Sean is the first to go down on the side of Gen.G.
A good early pick from Food with that aggression. They hold on to the A side positions, playing passively now. Envy and Gen.G so many times walking into the A site has worked out. And Envy holding backside control at the moment. Forward dark covers. Michael finding a path through to U-Haul. He has the spike though, so he has to be cautious. He doesn't lose the fight. A little bit afraid for Michael right now. Shock blast to try to clear the position. Trace come through. There's the paranoia. Oh my goodness, Win is in close range, but it's Kusto with a double to defend against Envy as they try to get some aggression going towards this attack. But it's the spike planted, and it's a 3v3 retake, and there goes the run it back from Food, looking for value, but it's not to be found.
Player standing.
Heavy util already coming out, so they know where they might have to be firing here with that Sova, Dart, Caboose, and the rest of the team able to hit their mark and grabbing some incredibly necessary rounds at the end of this first half. If they can put a bit of padding on what could happen for second half pistol, that will help greatly.
Definitely.
Last round in the half.
These rounds here are just so quick sometimes and then so adjusted to what the team is finding could be an advantage. You see a few frags, or Kusta's already made it into A, and the A rotation has been left towards B for MB. We're definitely seeing Gen.G reach into the strat book here to continue to be versatile. And it's going to be towards A here. Thought Showers Control would get a bit more. We have seen it back and forth. But now, again, it's going to be a priority as they start moving for the 3-2-A split.
Yeah, that Showers Control coming in aggressively from G&D. Able to get all this control. The monies, he's got the pick. That's huge. But at the same time, we talked about this. Short was open. Forward positions, Gen.G able to abuse this fact, and they have swarmed the A site despite the initial good look. But Caboose, he's got the rocket, and with that, they got the 3v3. Envy still in this for the last round of the first half.
So interesting. No plant just yet. Didn't feel like they had full control of the site. Now no Caboose is coming up cat. So you might have to retake U-Haul. Crashy steps in. Food steps in. The plant just going down in time. And it's going to be the defuse now coming in from Envy to grab the third and necessary round here in first half. What a retake there from them. Coming through with a bit of life to carry into second half.
Really happy to see something going the way of Envy towards the end there. And again, it was off of the back of, I mean, nothing really changed all that much. You know, Fu gets an early pick with the short B aggression, and they were able to convert off of that. And then in this next round, they had some success around Showers, where they typically they've never come away from that usually with a pick, and this time they did. So at the same time, it was difficult because, again, as we said, when you condition the defense to have an early timing where they're focused around Showers, Short is completely open. Gen.G abused that fact, and you're going into this next half, you know, Gen.G still have so much confidence, but we're going to have to see an Envy that are unaffected by all of that success. And at least they're on the attack, so they can take the initiative. So it should be easier for them to find their feet here as they look to focus on B.
3 frenzies on that side of Envy. So that death ball runs together, right? You have everybody else moving left side just to cover a flank. That's going to be Crashies. We see Food, FNS, and Caboose all together here. It looks like they're going to be making a run for the site, and Kusta's in a tough spot.
Oh, G&D though, he's managed to find that quick frag in the dark cover to just hold the perimeter for now, as the rest of his teammates start to line things up to coordinate into an attack together. Spike will be planted, and it's looking quite scary right now for Envy to hold on to this one. There comes the paranoia, but Wins in the backside. In the cloud burst, he's going to find Mummy, but now he's alone, tapping the spike. That's going to force them forward. As the cloud burst comes through, he punishes Finesse, moving forward, and now it's just down to Rumble. The tap comes in again, but Win can't hold on this time. It's up to Crashies, and Crashies delivers for Envy. And that's the pistol that Envy needed, I think it's fair to say. So important, but they get it.
Crashies, the savior. Credit goes to the entire team. It is a team game, but you saw who was standing last there and able to make the mark. 22 HP to Win, who was very, very healthy. I think still at 100 even after that first engage there. It's going to be 9-4, the bonus round. Now, Envy likes to bonus and carry the bonus. I wonder if they instantly go for big buys here and not bonus too long with those weapons. It'll be interesting to watch. Envy Food starting off on Quinn. Big takedown there on a round where he can always make damage with a classic. Food just flying out as he takes Mikhail down as well.
Yeah, Envy guessed right this time, and You know, we saw that there was a setup from Gen.G. They had the recon through back showers to kind of crunch through showers with most of their players, of course, leaving just one on the B side effectively initially.
Than yours.
And that's just how it goes sometimes in these anti-eco situations. It's just guesswork. You go for early round timings.
One enemy remaining.
Setting up for some exits. And looks like only one will go down on the side of Envy. So overall, Envy pretty happy about the start of this. And going into the first gun rounds, I'm very curious what Gen.G are going to do. They could try to play aggressively. They could try to play passively. Both styles of play obviously have their pluses and minuses. It's really about where they think Envy will be weak. And there's 3 towards B, and it looks like the focus will be on hookah control to begin with for Envy. So we might get a fight straight away.
And look at these upgrades here. Food actually has run it back. He lived that round, right? He got a 3K, but dropped it so he could go to Phantom with run it back. And he was actually given the chance to hunt more than everybody else. I think the comms were to him last round to get those eco frags. So smartly done here by Envy. Run it back again on round 3. You can hear that over and over again for Food as they prioritize him. See how they work it here towards Hookah Dan. It looks like it's going to be a pretty big commitment.
Well, GMD just burned his paranoia on A short, so that's and I think that's something that MB know about. So they might reset back to short, knowing that there's no paranoia coming in. That's massive, and they clear hookah. So with that, if I were Envy, I would really be, or rather, if I were Gen.G, I'd be really thinking about the paranoia getting burned as a massive bait here, because the drone will be used on hookah, so they know that no one's hookah. They know it has to be A right now. So if Envy hit right now, they're going to have a good timing.
Joke's over.
Run it back is still there. They do it right next to that double stack box in mid. Entry into the site. Food is the one to be the sentry and let them know where things could be, how much he's done. And that call goes out. Kusta in a great spot on Tribox. GMD, they just weren't able to get him out right there of U-Haul, and he does such good work.
Left.
Food, though, he's looking to try to clutch this 1 versus 4. He doesn't know if anything is left on the B side, but he's got to be quick. He has to gamble because the rotation is going to come through. He has the spike, so he can plant it and try to win the clutch from there. But you can see that right now, Gen.G are also giving him massive respect. They want him to plant because if he plants, which he will be forced to do, that means they know precisely where he is. He goes for the premature pick, and that's why they were pausing. They were waiting for a move like that, or to guarantee know his position when he's forced to plant the spike. That's extremely disciplined and well thought out by Gen.G. Not giving in 4 versus 1, not giving a single edge away.
Knowing you're in the lead, that moment that you have the upper hand can mean so much in controlling your economy, not making the wrong move, and pressuring your opponent into something that will be an error. There, the push forward, not so much an error, unfortunate to just get the dink on his first shot, but well played all around. 10-5 now as we enter round 16. Drone to start up short here. And we'll see what it does. There was a dart just from Mikhail down B, so they know nobody's going to be at B just for now.
Going very, very fast into this A setup, and it's looking good so far for Gen.G. Kusa with that frag, that's going to help them to maintain that backside control. There goes the hot hands. That's going to trade out Kusa. It's still looking difficult here for Envy as they try to hold on to this beautiful position, and it's now just Caboose who has to do everything. Oh my. Confidence coming in from Sean is unstoppable as Gen.G go to 11, and Envy, we were hoping, I think, for them to have some momentum off of the back of those early round wins, but they never really got started, Riv.
They didn't. And that play right there just shows that Gen.G is ready to commit, feeling they're comfortable to have an answer if that commitment is wrong. One Sova dart down B at the beginning of the round, and that's everybody here. There was definitely some confirmation on intel and utility used at A that might have triggered that they should be running over, but what calls that they're making right now to just shut down Envy. Now onto an eco round for Envy here. Sheriff's looking for those laser headshots if Envy can get anything back here.
Envy, again, Envy will be eliminated if they lose this match from Masters.
Absolutely.
The winner goes on to the lower bracket finals to play against FaZe. And Envy, one of the favorites of the tournament, in a lot of trouble here, and Crashies, he'll be able to open things up with the Sheriff. They need this round. They've got very little to work with, but they need this round. Caboose able to get one more, a second from Caboose, and just like that, Riv, there's a very strong chance now that Envy pick up this unlikely round.
what I was saying. Looking for those laser headshots. Apparently, they had it locked and loaded in the chamber. Beautiful job coming in from Caboose, nailing those with the distraction of the rest of the team. Dark comes over, could be able to hide from that just on the angle he can. Oh, he got revealed, actually. There's one. It could be the second. Little gate play as he toys with Crashies. 82 and 14 armor versus just 50 HP. Oh! He masks his hop-up step with a few shots, finds a different angle that Crashies was not expecting. And that's going to be the round for Kusta.
And that's for the Red Bull clutch as well. That's a beautiful adjustment from Kusta. And I actually thought that was such a smart play from Crashies. You know, he was sitting in a position where he's in a complete off angle. This is just not going to be the crosshair placement. It puts Kusta at a disadvantage to a small extent. But I think Kusta, in making that jump across at that precise timing when the cage was dropping, also created some problems.
Cypher
so it made it
5-head.
Exactly. Very weird fight to be a part of for Kusta. Super focused. And that's it. Match and series points here for Gen.G.
Amazing to say after what we saw in the first map, Dan, honestly, and what we have seen this series, it has provided. And Caboose, the rest of the team opening up as fast as causes chaos. It's going to be the dueling Hunter's Furies back and forth. Enemies revealed with the neural theft as well, and that is going to be a great round start for FNS and Squad on the side of Envy.
It's looking like a very difficult scenario. Will Sean want to use this showstopper here? They are at a massive disadvantage. 3 versus 5, but they have backside control, so they have position to work from. Now comes the U-Haul take, and it's all about taking over U-Haul here. Sean, I don't think there's an argument now to use the showstopper. It's a 2 versus 5. They might want to keep that one in the hole, but we'll see what they're able to accomplish. You can see Envy holding their ground, holding their position. They know if they keep U-Haul, that they will win the rounds.
I mean, at this point,
nothing that...
I don't want to say at this point, I think they don't want to get out of here, save those, and they realize that it's just damage for now. Dan, a sigh of relief, but still a bit of holding your breath here for Envy. Match point will continue on. They have to come up with 6 rounds, and it will help that they can bolster a few more rounds in their favor here with what will be an econ on the side of Gen.G.
We might actually get a showstopper opening possibly here from Gen.G as well. Gen.G have a lot of confidence. They have a lot of rounds to play with. And in terms of the ultimate economy, I feel like there is an argument to gamble a showstopper in the early phase of this round if the opportunity presents itself. And you've got Win also sitting there in Hookah with Sean. So very dangerous setup around Hookah. And it looks like Envy might be avoiding this. They are playing for information here. Fu's going to see nobody in showers. If you see nobody in showers, the process of deduction means that if there's nobody here, then obviously they have to be set up elsewhere because they want early round fights. So that tells them already quite a lot of what could be happening.
There's already pings going into the A side. A Cubby just got hit from where we saw GMD teleport out of. It's going to be the A mid here. A bit of rotation is coming in. It's going to be the 3v5 on A, and the 1-for-1 trade but comes up to give Envy the advantage.
Big opening entries there. Lots of those fights. Complete 1 versus 1s. Could have gone either way, but it is Envy with that side advantage, using the power of the Phantoms to their advantage, and it's Win now with the shorty creeping in. He might try to find that dash up draft to try to take down one player, and that, you know, if he's able to take somebody down, maybe steal away a rifle, that could be a good way for him to finish the rounds. But also just looking for exits, trying to make this expensive as possible for Envy. And same thing for Michael here. However, right now, Envy know that Showers is clear. Showers to attack a spawn is completely open, and that's guaranteed. However, Win, here's some footsteps. There might be an opportunity here that he's looking for. Oh, they're going to go through the TP. That's another option as well. See, he knows that one is nearby. He's going to try to close the distance, but actually, a couple players from Gen.G going to fall to the spike in the end, so all survive for Envy.
12-7. It comes up another gun. Win with the operator coming into this round. Feeling like that could be something where he puts up a little bit of a stopper on the side of Envy. Tactical pause to come in for Gen.G before we start round 20.
Yeah, it looks like we'll get a quick tech coming in from Gen.G. And it's looking like a very aggressive start. We can see everybody towards the market barrier looking at that short B control. And Win is going to be on the other end of this for Gen.G. and he's got an operator. So it's very likely that Win's going to either hold the gap. He could also, and that's what it looks like will happen. He's not against the barrier, which would suggest that he'd be looking to actually try to peek out from short B, from hookah, into that market engagement. And instead, he's just holding this angle with Sean there to support. And I'm curious what will be used here from Envy to actually displace this setup. You could always use that paranoia. That's usually a pretty safe way to force these players back.
Yeah.
And given that there's not been much of a setup around showers, and it looks like Envy want to push shower for shower control, I hope that they use the right utility here on hookah.
Yeah, I love this way of running A. You put your traps in A, you have 2 showers, 3 rotate over if they need to, and you have a good pins. Food, however, cakes out Win right away. This is going to be a rush onto B. A rotation from Gen.G. Looks like it could already be happening. There's the teleport hit, and now this could be a hold. No, they're already in the site. It looks like Mummy is going to try to get that spike down.
Spike planted.
Huge kills there into hookah, and 2 versus 3 on the retake. Actually, finding some love there is Envy, even though it was looking very unfavorable, but still not quite enough as Kusta will be finished off. And I talked about the setup there in hookah and how dangerous that was. And Food just walks up, he strolls up and just instantly shoots Win in the face. I don't think Win even got to react and pull the trigger with the operator. So that setup is not only blown up, it was expensive. And with that said, Envy, they're on the comeback trail here. This is not over just yet for Envy. They've got the momentum. They're starting to feel confident. And once again, much like Envy were on their first half, we got Gen.G on those eco rounds.
It's amazing because, you know, you just said it. Gen.G is on that buy to eco, which means they're going to have to fold rounds unless they can come up with an amazing strat after every gun round loss. And that is how Envy is capitalizing, getting back into this one. A little bit of utility usage towards hookah. They've liked B quite a bit here on the side of Envy, figuring out how to get the utility out, maybe getting a few frags from the lurker. But they have left quite a bit of A, Dan. This is usually where they have somebody watching the flank, so they have quite a bit of unknown on the side of Envy for this round.
Yeah, Kusa could win the round for Gen.G. You know, if he has a performance here, the thing is that they might even just spam him, because if they see the trip there, spamming that, if they really want to go to A, wouldn't cost too much. And in fact, you know, Fu's just going to stroll straight out there, and looks like that's going to be all fine and good. So never mind. So not too much from Kusta, and the site is for free for Envy effectively, so they should be good here. And once the spike is planted in rounds like this, it becomes almost impossible for the ecoing team. However, Sean finding a headshot like that could definitely shift things now as backside control goes in the favor of Envy, but Gen.G, but they have to also take U-Haul control.
Oh, there's the find, jumps up, goes for the teammate takedown. Oh my god, Mikhail from the back! That's gonna be the paint shells coming out. They're trying to fire through here just to the right. Sova dip from Mikhail! Dan, that's gonna be it. Gen.G's gonna find it. They're moving on to the lower bracket finals to phase.